Welcome back to another episode of the Cracked Open Podcast. I am your host, Goddess Telly. And it is Wednesday. Win It Back Wednesday. It is Win It Back Wednesday. August the 26th, 2026. It is my niece's birthday. See, I can never just start this episode off I just had to look at the date. It is my niece's birthday. So shout out to my niece, Zori Irene. Happy birthday. I believe you are 8 years old today. Ooh-wee. All right, but let's get into the message. Today's episode is all about, we're going to talk about changing your mind. You know, the truth will be told on a Wednesday. Again, I am your host, Goddess Telly. Welcome back to another episode of the Cracked Open Podcast. Happy Win It Back Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. And when I say change your mind, I'm not talking about changing your mind like we change our drawers, right? Because some of us don't even wear drawers. Hold, please. I'm talking about changing your mind for the good and not for the bad. Changing the way you think. You know, changing the way you think, changing the way you see shit, changing the way you respond, changing your perspective when the perspective you've been carrying no longer serves you. It's okay to change your mind. It is okay to change your mind. You don't have to stay committed to an old belief system just because that's what you used to believe. You don't have to keep thinking the same way because that's how your mama thought, how your daddy thought, your family thought, your friends thought, or because that's how you thought 5 years ago or even yesterday. You've learned something different. Change your mind. You received new information. Change your mind. You saw something you couldn't see before. Baby, change your mind. Because today, apparently, secrets are being revealed. Never mind who you thought I was. I am Goddess Telly. I am Goddess Telly. Let's get into it. Today is Wednesday, the day of Mercury. It is Mercury's day. This is the day of communication. This is the day of information. This is the day of learning, thinking, writing, speaking, and how we process what we receive. And in my Monday born mentality weekday system, Wednesday is our throat chakra. Light blue, Gemini, Virgo energy. And I want to include my Wednesday born people in that Mercury conversation too. Because here we're not just looking at tropical astrology. Y'all already know that. We're looking at the true sky astrology. So when I talk about Gemini, when I talk about Virgo, when I talk about Cancer, when I talk about Pisces and Scorpios and Aquarius and Libras, or any of those signs, when I'm pulling these cards, when I'm talking about the energies, I'm looking at it through that true sky lens. And I'm also paying attention to the day of the week that you were born. That matters over here. And today is a universal day 8. Ooh-wee. August the 26th, 2026. That reduces down. Okay, so we're going to be on that type of wave. Again, today is the 26th. And then also the entire date reduces down to a 26, which then reduces down to a number 8. There goes that infinity. And what have we been talking about all month long? Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all are catching this on the replay, comment down below, what is the word of the month? The word of the month is receive. Receive the good. Receive the bad. Receive the compliment. Receive the support. Receive the truth. Receive the information. Because receiving does not mean that you have to like what you received. It means, what are you going to do with what you received? And we also talked about not crashing out. Yeah, I received this shit. Now I'm about the 5150. Not everything deserves that type of crash out, right? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to manage it? How are you going to maneuver it? How are you going to use this new information to make a different decision? And that brings us right back around to change your mind. Because sometimes you couldn't change your mind before because you didn't have the information that you have right now. Now you know. What are you going to do with the information? What are you going to do with it? Question, pick it up. The cards of the day. I pulled these cards in real time. The messages of truth and clarity. Take what you need, leave what you don't. I asked for one tarot card. Apparently, that wasn't what the divine had in store for us today. Because these cards flew from the driver's side over to the passenger side. So boom, check it. Our goddess of the day is Queen Sheba. Secrets revealed. And you cannot make this up. Our tarot cards of the day is the Page of Swords, the Three of Cups, and on the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. And then our spiritual as fuck card came through at the end with pretending to be a savage won't heal that hole in your heart. Crashing out won't heal that hole in your heart. We got some shit to talk about today. So I'm going to kick it with the pages. I'm going to kick it off first with the Page of Swords. The advice for right now and the advice for today. Have you been hedging your bets? Playing both sides of the fence? Blowing hot and cold on a particular project, a priority, a person, a place, or an opportunity? Questions, pick it up. The Page of Swords is giving you the green light to commit. If you continue to hedge, this opening could close and leave you out in the cold for no good reason. What are you afraid of? Face it, and get past it. The affirmation for this card is, I pursue my goals and strive for excellence. And listen to this is the reassurance. Listen to the reassurance. We all feel safer and more comfortable sitting in the stands, commentating. Is that the right word? Commentating? I'm a commentator, commentating on the action. But games cannot be won from the sidelines. Now, some games can be won from the sidelines if you ain't doing what you're supposed to do in the game, and the coach decides to take you out. And then now all of a sudden, we starting to win because we took the hothead off of the field, right? But games cannot be won from the sidelines. You have to get on the field. Come out of the stands and get on the field. It's in the game. You understand? EA Sports. You understand? There is nothing to lose and everything to gain. The life lesson here is that The life lesson here is that desire can ignite motivation, but persistence, determination, and commitment are what enables you to achieve the goals and the success that you want. And here's the challenge. Who's coming with me? Here is the challenge. Where have you been inconsistent? Question, pick it up. Where have you been unsure? Where have you been on and off? What's up, DJ? Where have you been non-committal? Make a decision. Are you dropping this shit altogether, or are you committing? Question, pick it up. And if you are committing, make a plan. Not just for today. Give yourself at least a month. At least a month and start. Say yes. Confirm your interest. Make that plan. Join something. Sign up. Be positive. What we're not doing is continuing to hedge our bets while sitting around observing everybody else. The Page of Swords affects the air energy, the Geminis, the Libras, the Aquarius. But again, I'm also looking at my Wednesday born Mercury people and how this message may show up through your day, how can I say this? Through your day of the week energy. And this card represents people who are difficult to pin down. And that's those are the air signs, you understand? You don't really know what they think. You don't really know what they feel. Listen, that sounds like a communication problem. And what today is? Today is Wednesday. Today is all about that throat chakra, Mercury. The truth will be told on a Wednesday. Is this a yes or no card? This is a yes. It represents committing to something you genuinely desire. And then the next card that we have is the Three of Cups. The advice for right now, the advice for today, we are here for a good time, not a long time. Life is a journey to be experienced fully, enjoyed wholly, and lived as largely and as well as possible. Make the most of what is available to you today. See the potential for joy. See the connection. See the groove. You are wealthy in time. You are wealthy in energy. You are wealthy in possibility. Don't waste that shit. Don't squander that shit. Live your precious life to the fullest. The affirmation for this card is, I light up the room. You know, Pop Smoke shit. How about I shake the room? I light up the room. And the reassurance is, you are absolutely entitled to have fun. You are permitted to enjoy your life. We are here for a good time. We are only here once. And you know what? I don't even like to say we're here once. We are here every day. God decides to wake us up. I don't believe that YOLO, you only live once. You live every day, God willing. You only die once. You understand? Once you're done, you're done. Make the most of it. And the life lesson for this card is that life is infinitely better when you move with that attitude. Everything is going to be all right. What is the best that can happen? Because most of the time, it is all right. It's not all bad. It's not all bad. We have those moments. We have those seasons. Yes. But it's not all bad. And when it isn't all bad, when it isn't, we handle the hardship when it gets here. You understand? Stop wasting today worrying about shit that may never even happen tomorrow. So the challenge is to be the bearer of joy, not the bearer of bad news. Be the bearer of joy. See yourself as the person who lights up the room. See yourself as the person who brightens the mood, who lifts people up, who creates magic, creates positivity where there have been doom, fear, and heaviness. Today is going to be special. So this card is telling you to socialize, be kind to somebody, make somebody's day, be grateful for your gifts. See the good. You understand? What we not doing today What we not doing today is focusing only on the negative. If you're going to focus on the negative, focus on the positive too. Overthinking, what we not doing today is overthinking every worst case scenario. What we're not doing today is dwelling on regrets. This card speaks to water energy. This card speaks to Pisces, Cancers, Scorpios. And I'm also adding my weekday layer. This is also speaking to moon babies, people that are born on a Monday. Cancer is moon energy. So Monday borns. Hey, Monday. Because sometimes your day of birth tells another part of the story. It's not just that tropical zodiac. This card also speaks to those who are simply a good fucking time. They bring the laughter. They bring the happiness. They make shit feel just a little bit lighter. Is this card a yes or a no card? This is a yes card. It will be fun. On the bottom of the deck, we have the 8 of Swords. Now, this is where today's whole conversation just comes together. The advice for right now. The advice for today. Today is the day to break free from any mental prison that has been holding you back or holding you down. Seek something new. Invent something. Be innovative. Different approaches. Make a different approach to age-old situation. Imagine yourself as the innovator. Play your game with new rules. Get on the cutting edge of fresh ideas. Sweep away old thinking. Stop projecting your fears outward. I don't want that shit. Stop repeating bad habits. Be new, be different, and you get a different result. What did I say at the beginning of this episode? Change your mind. It's okay to change your mind. The affirmation is, I amplify my ingenuity. I can never say this word. Ingenuity. I amplify my ingenuity in everything I do today. And the reassurance is important because the older we get, the easier it becomes to resist new ideas, even while claiming we want something new. Novelty can make us uncomfortable. Believe me, I know. Different can make us nervous. Change can feel threatening. That's okay. But consciously push yourself outside of that comfort zone. Embrace something new. Because it may let you in on secrets. It may let you in on information and tricks you couldn't access while doing everything the old way. And wait, there's more. Our goddess of the day is Queen Sheba. Secrets revealed. I can't make this up. I cannot make this up. The life lesson is you don't know what you are capable of until you push outside of your comfort zone and at least try. If you stay in familiar territory, you keep circling the fucking block, you're going to get the same results. So today I challenge you to be open to new ideas. Be open to new voices. Be open to new theories. Be open to new methods. Be open to new technologies. Be open to new conversations. Talk to somebody that you normally wouldn't talk to. I do that every day. Oh my, I talk to somebody new every fucking day in real life. Not just when I'm on Epic, not when I'm just on TikTok, not when I'm just on Bigo. I talk to somebody new every day in real life. Talk to somebody that you normally wouldn't. Listen to a new podcast. Shout out to the Cracked Open podcast. Even if it ain't my podcast, listen to a podcast. Read a book. Shout out to Moon Baby Alchemy, How to Unfuck Your Emotions, available on MondayBornMentality.com. Shout out to Bridget Pettis, Journey to Freedom, available on the BridgetPettisFoundation.org. And shout out to the Cracked Open podcast. This card is telling you today, brainstorm, create, learn, change your mind. What we not going to do, we're not going to keep digging our heels deeper and deeper and deeper into routines, into beliefs and methods that clearly aren't working anymore. Don't become your own worst enemy. Don't let doubt keep you imprisoned. The Eight of Swords also speaks to air energy, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And once again, Gemini brings us right back to Mercury, Wednesday energy, communication, thought, the mind, the throat. And this is a yes if it represents fresh thinking or fresh action. Queen Sheba, secrets revealed. Her guidance to you is open your eyes. Secrets are being revealed. It is safe for you to see the truth. Your inner vision is crystal fucking clear. Your inner vision is crystal clear. And the embodiment of this card says you don't know what you don't know. Your creator, your ancestors, your angels, your spirit, your ascended masters, divine intelligence is whispering to you and saying, pay attention. There are things you have not allowed yourself to see. And while I'm pulling these cards, I look, it's 10:02 on the clock. Shout out to my ladybug. As I'm pulling the cards, I also saw 9:20. Shout out to a real one. So as the reader sitting here, while I'm reading Secrets Revealed, I had to even acknowledge that. Never mind who you thought I was. Allow yourself to be guided. Choose your own path. Queen Sheba's declaration is, I am connected to the divine. And that connects us right back to changing your mind. Because when a secret is revealed, when new information becomes available, when the truth finally comes out, you are allowed to make a different decision. You don't owe your old decision any fucking loyalty. You do not owe your old decision any loyalty when it was based on information that was incomplete. Louder for the people in the back, Telly. You don't owe your old decision loyalty when it was based on information that was incomplete. Question. Pick it up. Question. Pick it up. The question is, what new information help you to change your mind? The truth will be told on a Wednesday. And I just watched this play out in real time. I just watched this play out on my panel, right? Somebody came into my live while somebody on my panel was telling her story, was venting. That is allowed over here. And somebody told her or tried to tell her, hey, don't bring this shit to Bigo. They told her, they said, don't bring this shit to Bigo. Hold, please. She ain't bringing it to Bigo. She bringing it to Goddess Telly. She's bringing it to Telly's Corner. And on my panel will always be a place where somebody can express themselves, where somebody can vent and tell their truth. And it's Wednesday, girl. Girl, how you gonna tell somebody to shut up on a Wednesday? Girl, that was the wrong thing to do coming in my life. You understand? You don't tell somebody to be quiet, especially when somebody is being vulnerable. When somebody is speaking their truth. Don't come into my space and tell somebody else how they are supposed to feel. Don't come into my house. Don't come into my space and tell somebody to shut up. Don't do that. You don't even follow me. You might be close to the situation, granted. That's your sister-in-law, that's your cousin, or whatever. You might know pieces of the story. You may even know more about certain pieces because you're family or you're connected to the people involved. But don't you dare come into somebody else's safe space and silence somebody who is finally speaking. Not today, not on a Wednesday, not on a throat chakra day. Not when Queen Sheba is sitting here talking about secrets being revealed. 20 years of marriage, betrayal, secrets, pain. Let that woman speak. Feel that shit. Honor that shit. Tell your story. Because sometimes changing your mind happens after somebody finally tells you the part of the story that you never fucking knew. Sometimes you thought somebody was one thing, then information comes out. Now you know something different. It is time for you to change your mind. Come on, somebody. Sometimes you thought you were the problem. Then the secret comes out. Change your mind. Sometimes you thought you needed to stay quiet to protect everybody else. Then one day, your throat chakra says, nah, change your mind. And telling your truth doesn't mean you have to live inside your trauma forever. It means you acknowledge what's happening so you can decide what happens next. And then the spiritual as fuck card. I promise I'm going to be out of here. Our spiritual as fuck card, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, gods and goddesses. Our spiritual as fuck card that we have is pretending to be a savage won't heal that hole in your heart. Y'all know who the real gangsters are. Y'all know who the real G's are. Y'all know who the real gods and goddesses are. The ones who don't have shit to hide from anybody. Especially themselves. The real G's, they claim their humanity. They hold their wounds up to the light like Mufasa did Simba. You understand? Can you hear that inspirational music? Because that's you starting the hero's journey. You don't have to pretend nothing hurts you. You don't have to pretend you don't care. You don't have to become cold because somebody betrayed you. You don't have to become hard because somebody mishandled your softness. And you definitely don't have to keep believing this is just who I am. Fuck that. You don't have to keep believing that shit. That is not who you just are. You can change your mind. Heal from that shit. Learn from that shit. Grow from that shit. Receive the new information and become somebody new with it. Receive the story. We've been talking about receive all August. And receiving is just not money. It's not just gifts. It's not just compliments. Sometimes receiving means receiving information that changes everything. Receive the story, receive the truth, receive the revelation, receive the apology, receive the fact that you may never get the apology. Receive the lesson, receive the good, receive the bad, and then manage what you received. Maneuver what you received. Decide on what you have received. What are you going to do with this information? You don't have to respond immediately. You don't have to crash out. I just talked about this a couple days ago on the podcast. You don't have to crash out. You don't have to make a permanent decision 5 minutes after hearing something. Receive it first, process it, and then decide. And if you need proper help, get the proper help. If you need guidance, get the guidance. If you need somebody qualified to help you process, if you need somebody qualified to help you process what you've been through, to process what you've been through or what you're going through, get it. Telling your story does not make you weak. Changing your mind does not make you fake. Sometimes changing your mind is proof that you finally learned something. The message is the message. The word is the word. Take what you need. Leave what you don't. Now, y'all know before I leave, I am the plug to the plug. I am the plug to the plug. Y'all be sure to check out mondaybornmentality.com. If y'all want a reading, tap in. I do offer wound readings. I offer true sky birth chart readings. Y'all already know I work through true sky astrology. You can grab Moon Baby Alchemy, How to Unfuck Your Emotions. It's also available. Y'all can go ahead and pre-order Love Me With Your Venus, Not Your Penis. Yes, the shirt. If you want to pour into Goddess Telly directly, the Cash App is Goddess Telly. If Cash App isn't your thing, I have other payment options available. And you can also support by purchasing something directly through the website, booking a service, or streaming the music. Because support does not look one way. And listen, y'all, we still need those votes. I am in the Timberland Orbit competition with my song Emotions. I need y'all voting. The link is in the bio. If you're following me on Instagram, it's Goddess Telly _. Hit that link, vote, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. Free votes matter, paid votes matter, sharing matter, tapping in matters. And while you're there, check out the music. Goddess Telly is available on all streaming platforms. Subscribe to the Cracked Open podcast. We are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. And if you want to be featured on the podcast, if you want to collaborate, if you want to create something together or have a conversation that actually goes somewhere, shoot me a message. So what is Wednesday? What is Wednesday teaching us? Change your mind. The Page of Swords said, stop sitting in the stands and commit. The Three of Cups said, live your damn life and allow yourself to experience joy. The Eight of Swords says, break out of the mental prison and try something different. Queen Sheba is telling you to open your eyes. Secrets are being revealed. And Spiritual as Fuck said, stop pretending to be a savage when what you really need is to acknowledge your wound. That's the read, that's the message, and that's the truth. Because around here, between the Normandy and the West End, between Telly's Corner and the Cracked Open podcast, we change our mind. We don't stay attached to an outdated version of ourselves just because everybody else got comfortable with that version. I've learned something, right? I changed my mind. I healed something. I changed my mind. I received new information. I changed my mind. I can speak differently, think differently, choose differently, move differently, and get different fucking results. Happy Win It Back Wednesday. Shout out to all the Wednesday borns. Take what you need, leave what you don't. I am your host, Goddess Telly, and this has been another episode of the Cracked Open Podcast. Message, pick it up. Hold, please.